Hello everybody, my name's James O'Neill. I'm currently enrolled at Liberty University taking the Interpersonal Communications course. A brief background about myself is I am a husband with a toddler. I am the middle child out of three. I have an older brother and a younger brother. My older brother's name's Ray. My younger brother's name is Jason. Um, Currently work at Comar Behavioral Health as the continuity of care worker. And in this presentation, I will be using my intuition and different techniques learned from the course to make career advancement. Okay, so my overarching goals that I wanted to discuss in this project are career advancement to a management level position, networking to join different organizations, completing a master's degree will make me eligible for a higher paying job, building relationships with upper level management, and having the feedback from upper level management will be certain things that I need to accomplish in order to climb up the ladder. So this is all part of my game plan. The last thing that I would really think is an overarching goal for me is to obtain a mentor, someone who has experience in the field and who could give me some type of direction to become a better leader and fulfill different roles within the organization to move up the ladder. Background in behavioral blend. I come from a very competitive family who has a very strong interest in sports, business, and somewhat in healthcare. My mother and father have always worked full-time jobs, sometimes have worked two jobs, and I don't think they've ever really missed too much time or taken time off of work. So their professionalism and work ethic has been something that I've always looked up to and tried to emulate in my own life. From a sports perspective, I think sports helped me become a better leader and a team player. Sports has helped me become a better leader and a team player. From a business standpoint, I was introduced to different business ventures from a family member, in which the communication was definitely through contacting each other via cell phone and email. I was given a blueprint or a game plan, or if you want to call it a schematic, in reference to building a portfolio and comparing my statistics to other people who made different picks on the stock market. And in comparison, you can use a chart or different graphs to see where you fall at with other people who are interested in those same options. From a healthcare standpoint, communication has always been a key. I've worked with different kids who actually struggled with communication and had to develop different skills in listening, as well as different skills in verbal and nonverbal communication in order to help them with their treatment plan goals. So some things that I need to work on, one being struggling with prioritizing between my family, work, and school. Another thing is not communicating enough. Sometimes I feel the need to just go head on with certain projects and not communicate with other people because I feel like the solution that I have is the best possible solution in some cases, and then in other cases I might over communicate, in which I don't feel secure in finding a solution to different problems. Okay, so some communication barriers about myself that I'd like to talk about are one being staying engaged in conversations that do not stimulate my interest. That's something that I really think that I could work on and something that I have struggled with as well. Everybody cut that one. So, communication barriers that I need to work on, staying engaged in conversations in which some of the conversation does not stimulate me. It's unfair to the other person who's in the conversation to, not stay engaged in the conversation and just drift off and change the subject and, not really discuss what the person wants to have a conversation about. That's something that I need to work on because the conversation might be beneficial to someone, and what I'm thinking is boring might be something that is very important to that person. Um, Another thing is listening more than pushing my point across in a conversation. I think listening more in conversation is one of the barriers that I face, and it's something that I need to work on because, no one likes to be interrupted. And then my point might not, or I might not be able to get my point across the way that I want to because I didn't listen to the other person in the conversation. And lastly, overextending myself in situations is also another barrier that I might face. I say this because in some cases, in the line of work that I do, I can present physical harm to myself. There's been an instance at my job in which two men were in an altercation, and I felt the need to de escalate the situation verbally, even though they were being physical with each other. And I honestly could have put myself in harm's way, in which if I just continued to communicate verbally and not try to de escalate the situation with a physical restraint, the solution or the outcome would have been the same, but I would not have put myself in danger. So I think that's very important because like I said earlier, I do have a family. I do have people who care about me, and there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. Resources and strategies. Um, Different exercises for better communication is something that is very important in the line of work I do and in my everyday life regarding communication. One exercise would be to practice active listening. So, with active listening, it would be in my best interest to give facial cues, show proper etiquette and things of that nature in order for the other person in the conversation or who I'm communicating with to have an understanding that what it is that they're saying is being recognized. Um, Also, networking with professional peers with more experience is also another strategy that I think would help me with my game plan as far as climbing the ladder goes, because people with more experience are very beneficial to me in, I guess, setting like career goals for myself because they've already accomplished the things that I want to do. Taking on harder tasks for more experience is also another strategy and something that I think would be resourceful because, it appears that a lot of people in upper management like to see people who are on the lower end taking on challenges and, going head on with certain things in order to help the team collectively. And staying up to date with current topics, social media is something that I also think is strategic for me and something that I also think I can benefit from. And having open discussion with family members and friends about the different things that go on throughout the course of my day with my job is also another resourceful and strategic thing that I could do in order to excel in life. Action plan. I think sticking to an original game plan or my original game plan, but making adjustments even when I'm in conversations with people who may communicate differently is something that's going to be very useful throughout my career and throughout my life. Sharpening my skills in certain areas that I am less well versed in is also something that'll be useful in staying consistent with my action plan. I do believe that it's very important to always make people feel comfortable in conversations, and maintaining proper etiquette and body language at all times is something that's very useful in communicating with people. In conclusion, developing better interpersonal communication skills will be a key component in my overarching goals. It will help me with career advancement. It will help me with my family life, and it'll also help me with making better business decisions. Maintaining great listening skills as well as communicating at a high level and being receptive of what it is that people are communicating to me will also play a part in sticking to my original game plan.